morning. Good morning, Tux. No, don't come down. Here's your food. Here. Come on. Behind you. Moving behind you. And Tux still came down because he's confused. Hi. Come here. Yeah, don't be mean to Morris. Thank you for letting Morris try to say hello. Here you go. Now you got to get around to the other side of Marty. Come here, Tux. Come here. Come here, buddy. Come on. Come on. There you go. Good boy. Good morning, Morris. Oh, and there's Smart Mart. So, we only got, according to Tempest, 4/100ths of an inch of rain. So not much. It seemed like it felt like it thundered and rained everywhere but at our house yesterday. I was a little miffed. Yeah. A drop came out of the rain gauge. So we have a chance every day coming up, and they're saying Thursday and Friday we're going to get rain from Beryl when it falls apart over the lower southeast. We're going to get rain from it. I think Thursday and Friday. The next 7 days they're expecting us to get 2 to 2.5 inches. So what I'm trying to say is I don't need to water everything out here, but there are a few plant pots that dry out quicker than some other things. Like I keep an eye on this because there's not a lot of dirt and that's dry. There's a passion flower down there that's small. This and the plant pot for Mr. Ball is pretty root bound, so it needs regular watering. So I will be watering a few things this morning, but not running the sprinkler and not out here for a super extended amount of time. So that's good. We had an emergency activation public alert system this morning. Some sirens, I don't know if it was all the sirens, we didn't hear it, from Sharon Harris went off, and they were letting the public know that there was no emergency, there was no public action needed, etc., etc. Currently they're not saying why they went off, so that's all I can say. I don't have any recollection of them ever going off by accident again, but previously, ever. And test siren days are on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. currently, so it definitely wouldn't have been a scheduled test. They have run them before outside of the testing schedule, but obviously they let the public know in advance, so seems like all is good there, but our phones and our watches and stuff have gone off at least twice this morning to tell us there's nothing to worry about. I had my watch. I didn't know about the 8:23 one because I didn't have my phone or my watch, I guess, where I could tell, but my watch was on, and a few minutes ago it went off again and it vibrated my wrist. So anyway, happy Monday. It's not quite as muggy out here this morning. This hibiscus has certainly given me some joy this year. Has several more blooms for another day. I see at least 4. Yeah, I'm done watering. I like this splash of red salvia in here. It does good mixed in with the other tall stuff. It rises above it. This Mandevilla vine is also flowering every day and enjoyable. I only got 1 nasty stinging bite this morning and 2 mosquito bites, so yeah. Hey, bud. Hi. Hi. Apparently they're down there working on that sewer line this morning. It's loud. Oh, I see a Hummer down there. Yep, he's checking out the canna lilies. Hopefully he'll go for the red flower. Well, that's good to know. I see another new red flower coming out. The one to the left of the first one was damaged and didn't do great, but I see another new one working on it this morning. There was a possum out here around midnight finishing up the cat food, and I've seen several squirrels and several birds on the front porch. Midnight from inside the house, he likes to sit by this door and look out. He's always done that, so yeah. You know, I'm doing okay. I am. I miss him. But I'm hanging in there. I was pretty determined not to try to make myself sick, because I wasn't going to change anything. It's not good for my family. So anyway, that's enough of that noise. Good morning, Gray. Where are you? There you are. There you are. Hi. Hello, sweet girl. Hi. Good girl. Good girl.
Well, it's going again. They're starting to print all over again, the TPU. I had set the TPU up yesterday, and I used this top hole. This thing was shorter. I have added a couple things to get it even, because the tube it feeds in is right there, so it's not quite a straight shot. It's down and back up at this point. I had thought that the thing was lower yesterday, and I thought running it out the top hole would be better, and it was, until it got almost to the end of the spool, and the spool was so light, I think what was doing, it was picking up the spool. And if you see these on the other side, this indentation outline of the spool job was to keep the spool in place, but it actually caused it to jam. And this string was tight. I mean, this was like a guitar string. So the thing was printing in midair, and so I unjammed it, and when it did that, it did spaghetti.
Yeah, it was like this on top, so
Yeah.
we had to cancel. It was a shame because it was within an hour of being done, or thereabouts.
Well, actually, yes, that's right, but this is really all it did. So I don't know. It had been printing in air for several hours, is my hypothesis.
Yeah, it's pretty short for the final chassis.
So the bamboo cannot detect that the filament isn't moving. In other words, it can detect an out of filament condition, but what was happening is little gears were grabbing the filament, but the filament wasn't moving, and so the little gears that grabbed the filament were just slipping, and it could not detect, which I found that kind of interesting, that it can detect spaghetti, but it can't detect it's printing in midair. So I guess I was a little surprised that. But anyway, long story short, we've done it all now and got it back rolling again, and hopefully the second time's a charm. We did put a new roll of TPU up there, even though we have two partial rolls over here, and that's because Johnny's anticipating this is a final chassis. In other words, this may he's high likelihood this is the final chassis. So we used the new TPU because I didn't want it to run out in the middle of printing a chassis, one of these older rolls. So whenever he does a prototype, we're gonna try the other one next time we do a prototype.
Yeah, and the other thing we wanted to convey is that Don did cut the TPU and let the TPU print for like another 3 to 5 minutes and run through the machine, and then he didn't have any trouble getting the TPU out of the extruder or have to take anything apart. That, at least this time, that worked well. So we'll be using that every time Johnny says back to black, back to TPU. When we're leaving the TPU, we'll be cutting it, letting it run itself out on some sort of little sample print, and then hopefully, you know, Don's out of the business of having to take things apart.
Yeah, it's actually, it says it's auto bed leveling right now.
Right. It takes about 8 minutes to get through the start to print process.
I find it very interesting. It's not actually touching the bed. I don't know how it's detecting the bed.
It pops down sometimes.
Anyway. Oh, and it also said when I restarted the print from out here, it said make sure the door is fully open.
I did check on this thing, and there's a front, Donnie, there's a front microphone here, Dot,
Yeah.
and there's one on the side, but it's on the other side of the LCD screen. So it has two microphones, and you can tell it auto, front, or side. There are some things you can change, but for us, since we're behind and in front all the time, it picking up sound from both is probably the right answer for us with the camera.
All right, now it's laying a little bead of TPU down, and that looks normal to me.
I asked Don to go to Yates Mill today. Jules says right now it's 87 out there. Yeah, Greg Fischel had an interesting comment yesterday about how people were saying, oh yeah, that 106 temperature at RDU's accurate because my car says it's 106 or 108 or something. And he's like, folks, the car temperature's nice to have, but the asphalt on the road and all these other reasons, that's, not super accurate. Let's not be comparing an official NWS temperature to the temperature your car says it is.
Right, your car has the same problem as the RDU temperature station. The local heating is skewing it. Greg was very clear. The sensor itself is accurate. The sensor is 100% correctly measuring the air temperature. The problem is the siding of where they've put it. There's so much asphalt, concrete, buildings, and everything in the way that the air temperature there is local heating. It's only good for somebody who lives at RDU. If you don't live at RDU, that temperature is of no value to you.
Yep. So before we left, I said no, I don't want to test out the microphone that came with the camera today. I'm changed my carry case today from the purse I had to this neoprene water bottle thing that I ordered, which I'm hoping I'll like better. That's enough change for today. One thing, get used to it at a time. I appreciate the feedback about the video that a few people have either left on the yesterday's, well, it's actually Saturday's video, but the one I released yesterday, Osmo Pocket, thing, either in the comments or email or text or whatever, however people reached out. I appreciate the feedback. And I was looking for a couple of quick answers this morning, and I had downloaded the PDF manual, which I have to say was not obvious to me that was out there until I was searching for an answer, and then it offered me to download the manual. But I mean, in the stuff we got with the camera, I don't think you'd have ever known there was a PDF. There's just this little quick start guide. Probably in the fine print it said, go download the PDF here or whatever. But anyway, Gemini, I had uploaded the user's manual to Google Drive where I keep all my stuff, and Don keeps all his stuff, and that way we can both access it from the same spot. And I wanted to know if I needed to charge the microphone and how to charge it, this little external mic. And of course the answer was yes, charge it. And yes, there's a USB-C port on it that you plug it in somewhere. But Gemini AI is now in Google Drive, and it searched that PDF document for me and gave me a perfect answer. And then Don wanted to know what the little lights on the bigger battery pack meant. And because they mean, red is obviously you need to charge, and green is obviously good, you're good to go. But it flashes green when it's charging, and it's green when it's between 50 and 100%, which is actually a little lower than I would want to feel good to go with. And it's red under 1 to 19, and there was percentages in there, and a yellow somewhere like between 20 and 50. So anyway, it spit that up right away. There was no hunting. The old school way is you go to the PDF and you do a search on a keyword like microphone, and it spits up every instance in the book where the word microphone is used. And sometimes the keyword, if there's 1 or 2 hits, you get to where you wanted to go pretty quick. And if there's 50 hits on the word microphone in a larger document, it might show you like a little bit more of the text that, like the sentence it's used in. But anyway, you know, it was helpful back in 1980, and now we can do it better. So I will say I had to wait for Gemini about 30 seconds to 60 to a minute for it to give me the answer, but it had summarized what it read and everything, and it was really super helpful. As we entered the boardwalk here, there was a sign, "Stay on the bridge during low water levels." They must be working on the water chute or something, because they only lower the water when they need to do that. Now, I was here one time when they totally rebuilt the wheel and the water chute, and they totally drained the pond. And it was both neat and sad all at the same time. You got to see wildlife. Yeah, Don's carrying my big camera. Well, the heron's right up there, so I'm going to want it in just a minute to try to shoot the heron over here.
Sure.
Anyway, you got to see footprints of critters that were out here and stuff, but yeah, so I don't know. Well, I'm sure we'll figure it out. A sign why it's lower today. And there's another photographer up here with his long lens trying to shoot the heron. I will definitely try to shoot the heron. Maybe he'll catch a fish for me. I'd rather get a good picture of a kingfisher though. Hi. Well, it's nice here in the shade. I told Don we didn't have to do the back 40 boardwalk today. He put a little bug spray on him. I didn't on me. So far, I'm not being bothered. I, you know, was just looking for a shady walk. Someplace with picture potential of some sort or another. These days where you don't have to be on to work super fast, and we don't, you know, we can take a little longer, go a little farther from the house.
Sure.
Just making the most of it. Hey, you.
Hey there.
It's a novelty for now, right? So we'll keep on playing with it a little bit. A lot of nice trumpet vine here on the fence. Hummers like this too. Be nice to see somebody over here, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But this is a great spot for it here on the fence. A lot of times you see it, but it doesn't bloom because it gets too much shade. We're fixing to come to basically our favorite spot in the whole park, right, Donnie?
Yeah.
This little, well, it's not a bridge, this little dock, this little viewing area, deck, whatever you want to call it, where you can look over at the mill. I don't expect a really good picture today, though, because A, it's breezy, and B, the water's low. But I have taken many a fine picture in this location over the years. Berries. I don't know what that tree is, but it's pretty. Yeah, Don says he thinks it's just low because it's low. I am surprised, but I think I agree. My son's on the other side of the mill pond right now. It's just not on this side. You can see the bridge that we walked across over there. It's just a little under a mile to walk all the way around. Yeah, Don says he thinks it's just low because it's low. I am surprised, but I think I agree. My son's on the other side of the mill pond right now. It's just not on this side. You can see the bridge that we walked across over there. It's just a little under a mile to walk all the way around. My new carry case is working great when I want to put the camera in the hard shell in it. But when I just want to put stow the hard shell when I'm using the camera, it's giving me a little trouble putting it in and out. It's taking longer, so I'm going to have to think about that. I have the phone in the outer shell, and that little zippered pouch is just the right size and it goes in and out easy. But getting the hard shell in and out is a little difficult. So I learned yesterday, I just did it, that hitting the joystick, the button on it twice, recenters the gimbal. So if I don't think it's where I want it to be, I can recenter it. That was handy. Yep, in wide angle I can get the whole mill and a little bit of the rocks and a little bit of the blue sky, and I can try to shout really loud over the cars just behind me. The family going up the water walkway over there, they're from Miami. Yeah. And they've been here before and they've come back to enjoy it again. Alright, back to regular mode, and you can see that there's not a lot of water right now over here. There's nothing coming over the wall. And more rocks are exposed here, and
yeah, well, there's just that little trickle right here. You can see the water.
Yep.
And that's just what's leaking out
of the chute. Yep.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, the chute always has a little bit of water in it. More steps. Yeah, I mean when we have a lot of rain, say 3 to 5 inches or more, it goes over top of this little footbridge here, and they have to close off this area until it recedes. It's designed to do that.
Oh, there's a water snake. I saw one.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, he just went under the bridge. Where did you see one? Over here?
Oh, that's the same one I saw.
Okay. Yeah, well, he comes out the other side. It's so low here that
yeah, well, he's probably gonna come.
Oh, look at the butterfly on the rock down there getting minerals.
Mm-hmm.
See in the
yeah,
camera?
I see down to the yellow guy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. It's one of your big ones.
Just gorgeous. I can see what it does to the sky when I'm looking at the LCD screen a little bit, and it looks pretty here today, and it makes it look really pretty. We are on our second loop, and this time we've come to the back boardwalk. We're going to turn around here in a bit, but just in case there were pictures to be had over here. Sometimes the jewelweed and other things are flowering, and you'll see hummers all over the place in this section. And looks like not today, though. Not today. Nothing in particular to write home about out here, but this is elderberry, where you can actually see the berry. I keep trying to get some of it going in our yard. It's medicinal. And the deer ate the nice bush I bought from Mr. Ball. It's not dead, but it's sure not bouncing back very quick either, like some other things.
I always hustle up to the shade.
Yep, and wait for me.
Yeah.
I'm welcome to stay out in the sun as long as I want, and if I keel over, he'll come get me, but
That's
you
right.
know.
That's exactly, you can count on me, sweetie. 7,115 steps. I might get 10,000 today.
I thought that was the hardest walk we did the whole summer. I was struggling a little bit there at the end.
Well, the humid, it's really warm. It's
94.
Yeah, it might be like 92 at least. Maybe it's a couple degrees.
Right, out on the mill pond with the breeze, it's not 94. Yeah. Here in the parking lot, it's not. But it was, and it's humid, and yeah, I was a little low energy there. I'm glad to sit down.
Yep.
Well, somehow I was just able to zoom on video also, so I'm going to have to read up about that a little bit more. Anyway, Jules was able to handle this construction zone switching to the wrong side of the road without any intervention by Dawn.
The only non-human thing she did is when she first went over, she turned the blinker on. When she went to the moved from this side to the wrong side of the road, she turned the blinker on, and that, you know, typically it's not something somebody would do when you're in a line of people progressing through a construction zone. But other than that, she did it exactly like a human would have done. She stayed reasonably close to the car in front. She didn't try to go left or right randomly. She just was true to the course.
Hi guys. Tux, you want to come up? If you don't, I'd guess Marty will. Hi. Hi. Hey, Mart. So I'm just out here to walk around and check for Japanese beetles and make sure I didn't miss anything that truly needed water. I just got done editing 2580. And there, you can see better now. And watching 2579 up on the big screen. Of course, I watched it, listened to it when I built it, but I thought it turned out pretty good. I agreed with the feedback from folks. You know, it helps me to watch it to see where I can do things to improve better. I realized, you know, just now I've made a couple of rookie mistakes, but I am still learning. Don and I got a quick nap. I am fixing to take Johnny to Taekwondo here in a bit, Mondays and Thursdays typically, unless we have a reason to change. So, card arrived from our vet, Dr. Liz. That was nice of her. She said some nice things in the card. I appreciated it. We also watched Panther's video up on the big screen. Dawn had held off a few days, probably the right move, right? So, I've got a little under an hour, but I'm probably going to work on my Legos. And, yeah, that's what's going on. High heat index tomorrow, not currently looking like rain today. Don checked on some people that he knows through his sister that live in Houston, and they didn't have power, but were okay. So, that's good. I would say the con differences of using this camera over the other blogging camera are possibly the volume doesn't pick up the audio quite as loud, but I compensated yesterday and today. I think that makes it work okay, and we'll see going forward if I continue to feel the need to compensate. The photos of this camera are not as good as the G7X Mark III, where the G7X Mark III may have had some issues with the video. It certainly didn't have any issues with taking photographs. But then there's blackbirds, ravens. All this week, wonder if they were bothering the hawks. That would be common. All this week we've been taking the big camera with us. So, I wouldn't have noticed it quite as much. Plus, I've got my phone and Don's phone, and I have other ways to take photos. It's not as easy to delete a video that I want to throw away and start over. We don't do that a lot, but we do that some. Like I'll go to film a video and the guys don't know that I'm getting ready to do that, so they are talking or something, and then I stop it and restart it. Always making sure it's not a bee before I reach my hand in there. One year I got stung by a bumblebee, of all things, because you see the other flower coming up. Maybe go up just a little bit on the thing. There we go. A flower coming up. That's the new one. Oh, I see a butterfly down here on my butterfly bush. One of the black swallowtails. So, I don't know. It's better to delete them right away. And that way, if I get distracted, fall asleep, other things that can happen during edit that introduce errors. Oh boy, was I mad. It said sample at the end of Panther's video when I saw it. I guess will allow me a little bit of grace on making a mistake, considering how upset I was when I made the video. I wanted it to be perfect for my boy, not messed up, although all the important parts were perfect, right? Let me see, how many steps do I have today? Oh, it won't show me because I need to enter my pin on my watch. I haven't been back near my phone or my computer, and it's calculating my steps, but I really am trying so hard to get 10,000 steps every day. I realize it's not a magic number, but being active and getting up and walking often and all these other things are helpful techniques to maintaining health and weight and all these things. So I would like to, you know, utilize them. Gonna redo the basket on the front porch. But it's been so hot and muggy and humid and mosquitoes, and every time I'm out here I get bit by a new ant, and I've got a couple of mosquito bites just walking the perimeter just now. Maybe when the rain comes in I can do it, because the hi Mr. Hawk, the dirt and the rocks and anything I need is under the house, and we'll see. I don't want it to go more than, so let's say, to the weekend before I replant it, though, since I have the pretty New Guinean patience to put in the pot. Well, everything out here looks okay, best as it can. Thanks for coming along with another yard walk with me. Yeah, Uncle Sam got blown over in the wind. I just double clicked it so it would recenter. He's dry now. I'll put him up one more time today. I'm probably going to tell Dawn we can take him down tomorrow or Wednesday if he'll help me, or we come out here, I'll do one, he can do the other, before the rain comes in from Barrel later in the week. They're all nice and dry now, so if we don't get rain today or tomorrow, we really probably, I gotta come and trim off that non-grafted, that stock piece of maple from my reusing pod over there. Be good to pack them up before they got soaked. My little puppy dog fountain, since we replaced the filter this year, it's been running perfectly. There we go. Alright, well that wasn't the worst Japanese beetle finding of the season. Hi, Morris. Hi. Hi. So So what I learned is I can track, but where I had the other day, I had double pressed, or single pressed. I got a double press to track. Hi. Hi. Aww. Good boy, Morris. Good boy. Yep, double tap, not just a single tap, to pick the object you want to track as you continue to walk. So that'll be good. And I guess in the video, I did notice, by the way, this is the new bald cypress. Yeah, I'm trying to get it where I want it. This is the new bald cypress, and this is the new, we're going to try to bonsai it, Japanese, red Japanese maple. Oh, look, right in front of me. That was nice. I don't know if you guys actually saw him or not. It's a really pretty butterfly. Oh, wow. Yeah, the other thing I learned was probably about 2 feet is as close, maybe a foot is as close as it stays focused. If I get any closer than this, then might not stay focused. Well, I'm down to only having 30 minutes before I gotta leave, but there's 2 little chairs that need to be put together. I should at least be able to finish those. Johnny dropped off at Taekwondo, and I'm headed to Walmart. I need 1 or 2 items, and this is my first time checking out the camera and driving. It's fine. It's about what I expected. It filled in that huge pothole there, that crater, so that's good. Madonna and I stopped in at Food Lion for a couple of items on the way back through town from Yates Mill and saw that it had been filled in. There are a couple of ferns and a couple of Indian hawthorns on the clearance, and the hibiscus that they've been marking down. A lot less today, so some have sold. But I didn't see anything that I really needed to bring home with me. Most of the stuff out here looks good. These hibiscus here being counter to that description, unfortunately. Okay.